Okay, we are live online. Hi, everybody. Welcome to our beautiful 11/11 twin flame soulmate situation tonight. I'm so happy that you are here. I just finished welcoming everybody who's in the room. We've got a beautiful crowd in the room as well. Really good energy around tonight's event. Tonight, I have always wanted to celebrate 11/11 with a group. It's a magic number. If you haven't read my blog, you should go read it. It's a great blog post about, actually I have two on angel numbers. And when does anybody see 11/11 all the time? Mm-hmm. And it's like those days where you see it in the morning and at night. Like, whoa, cut it both times. And then for me, I go through periods where I don't see it at all. Have you had that happen too, where it's like, gosh, you know what? I don't think I've seen 11/11 lately. And for me, it tends to be like all or nothing. It's like I'm seeing it all the time or I'm not seeing it at all. And I want to talk to you about why I think that is tonight, just for a couple of minutes before we get started. And then I'm going to talk to you about the ritual that I have planned for tonight, because I'm really excited about it. What do you need, just in case I have to send you off to your living room or pack in to get some tools? I'm going to be using crystal you want, but you do need a crystal. So please make sure you have a crystal with you. It'd be great if it was a heart chakra or a sacral chakra. Those are our love and sex centers in the body. And so it'd be great if you could activate a crystal for those places. But did you know that a lot of our sexual relationships and our intimate relationships are actually really focused on the root chakra? Did you know that? Because the best relationships don't just turn us on physically and don't just open our hearts. They ground us. They connect us. A true soulmate actually really anchors you in the world, reminds you that you're always loved, that you're always safe and protected. That to me is one of the quintessential aspects of a soulmate relationship. My soulmate's in the room. Aww. He's over there. He's so happy that I just told you that. Lock the door, everybody. My husband's a Virgo, and the thing that he fears most is that I will talk about him online or people might see him. It's very scary for him. So I will not mention him at all again, but he's my person. And I will say one more thing about him. I knew the instant I looked at him. And it's true. And not only did I know he was the one, but I knew I was going to have his children, which was really creepy because he was pretty young. I was older than him. So it was this moment. Doesn't surprise you at all, does it? I was like, hello, it's nice to meet you. I'm going to have your children. Maybe we could have a hamburger or go on a nice date before we do that, but I'm going to have your children. So I just knew, and that's a profound experience, and it has been an incredible journey for the last 16 years with him. And the other thing I'll tell you, and you know this is true, soulmate relationships are not easy. They're here to teach you things. They're here to crack you out of that shell. They're not here to just be love and light and namaste and you just be however you want to be and I'm just going to accept you for who you are. That should be part of the equation. They're also going to say, wake up. Guess what? Where you are isn't good enough. I have a vision, for us and with you, and we're going to build this life together. And then you look back later and you think, gosh, I had no idea that's where we were going to go together. I mean, I was a professor. He was in tech marketing. Did he think I was going to be Sage Goddess and do what I'm doing right now? He certainly did not. I didn't either. But we're on this incredible learning journey together and we're growing together. And I think that's the key to a strong relationship is you're going to grow. But if you grow like this, it's not going to last. You have to be winding with each other on this trail. Now, when you're with your soulmate, that's kind of fun actually, because each of you makes the other a better person. That to me is the definition of a soulmate relationship. If you know that your partner is here to evolve you on your soul's path. And it's a beautiful thing. I've done a lot of spiritual and shamanic journeys, and each time I journey, I'm reminded that part of why I'm here is to support him on his spiritual path, and part of why he's here is to support me on my spiritual path. And I think that's, at the end of the day, what we're talking about tonight. So I'm so glad that you're here. I do want to say very much, Angelica Online says better half. That's very much what it is. And most soulmates, by the way, are very, very different. Most soulmates are very, very different. Your other half tends to be your opposite on a lot of levels. And so people will say, well, when I recognize my soulmate, I'll just look at them and it's like we're exactly the same person. And I'm thinking, probably not, actually. And it also throws people for a loop. I'll just put that out there. When they're soulmates, sometimes of the same sex. I mean, intimate soulmate, like, oh, hi, there's my partner. I mean, it depends on who you are and where you are in your path. But I tell people all the time, just be open. You never know when that energy comes to you. And keep in mind, I've been a man many times and a woman many times. You've been a man many times and a woman many times. So the only thing that doesn't change over those lifetimes is your eyes. And that's why when I looked at him and I looked in his eyes, I was like, I know you and I know where we're going together. And I think the eyes tell it. And I think you either know or you don't know. That's why dating is so weird to me. It's like, should we finish this meal? I looked in your eyes. You're like, nothing's happening right now. And so I'll just finish my chicken and we'll just like call it a day or whatever. So dating, I never dated because I thought it was weird. I was always like, well, I'm going to look in your eyes and it's either going to happen or not. And then I'm going to move on. And you're going to move on. It's great. Call it a day. These are all my sort of 2 cents on this. Okay. Difference between soulmate and twin flame. This is a subject of some controversy, so I just want to share my 2 cents and put it out there. You are welcome to your own opinion. I certainly don't have all the answers. It is believed that every single soul has a twin. And one of the dominant theories is that the twin flame actually does not reincarnate at the same time that you do. So the idea is that you have a complement on the other side. And when you die, that soul goes and changes places with you. And then when they die, and you play this, and that resonates with me. I don't know if it resonates with you, but I don't know that I would call that my twin flame, but I do think that we have an echo. And I think that echo stays on the other side to watch over and guide us as one of our primary spirit guides, in fact. And I think at the moment of our death, the greatest joy comes from seeing that echo again. I've heard that from people who've had near-death experiences, and so I can only believe that that's true. But do we know? I certainly don't. Have you died and had a full experience of death? If you have, I'd love to hear about it. Most of us have not, so I don't know exactly if that's what happens. So that's the reigning theory about what a twin flame is as opposed to a soulmate. And you can have many soulmates. There are women in this room who are my soulmates. I can tell you that hands down. As much my sisters and loves of my life as my own blood sister and my very best friends in the world. So I have lots of female friends who I consider to be soulmates. We finish each other's sentences. There's just an unspoken communication. I could go years without talking with them and that relationship will be just as it is right this minute. I'm sure you know what that's like. By the way, men have that too. But I also think that there is a primary soulmate connection that becomes your deepest intimate relationship. And that's really what we're here to cultivate tonight. Now, if you want to open yourself to soulmate experiences more generally, I think that's amazing. I mean, I think your life will be enriched. I can tell you that my primary partnership is really enriched by the fact that I have other people in my life I'm really close to. Do you know what I mean? I think it's really hard when you expect your partner to be everything for you. Because the reality is no partner can be everything to you. You're going to set him or her up for failure if you really think that's what's going to happen. So in fact, you enrich your primary relationship by having people around you who love you too. So I encourage you to open your heart and think of that as a possibility. And by the way, I have soulmate relationships with people I've never met in person, virtual. Women I know in my groups who I just know are my soulmates. And I'm sure if I met them and hugged them, it would be really powerful, but I don't need to because energy doesn't have to materialize. Do you know what I mean? All right, so I'm going on and on. Does anybody have any questions in the room or online about soulmate, twin flame? What, hopefully you know where you are right now, so you're in the right place. I don't know if I signed up for that. Any questions about any of this? No? Okay. It's a powerful thing. I also want to say, not talking about the election, but I will say, I'm really glad to talk about love tonight because the one thing that can heal you physically, mentally, spiritually, emotionally, the one thing that can heal our planet and the one way we can heal each other is through love. Cue siren. If you're new to Sage Goddess, we ironically sit next to a fire station, everybody, and which is great given how much we burn here. So in line with that, I'm going to burn something real good for you right now. Smudging off all of this anxiety that's in the field right now, the fear. It's a little calmer than it was a couple days ago, but not completely. So I just want to invite you, I always say this, I have you for the next 45 minutes, whatever you're worried about, whatever you have to do after this will be right there waiting for you when we're done. Give yourself the gift of the next 45 minutes and don't think about anything else except where you are right now and what we're about to do together. Do we have a deal? We have a deal. Your spiritual development is so important. In many ways, it is the most important thing you do for yourself, your children, your family. The more full your soul is, the more full your life is. And you can't give all the time and not replenish. You have to do that. Okay. We are on the eve of a full moon on Monday, which means I get to see you in 3 days. I'm super excited about that. Probably our most powerful full moon ritual of the year, Monday, so please don't miss it, especially if you need financial prosperity. If you don't, that's fine. You don't have to join us. I don't know. If you have enough and you're just good where you are. If you're looking for success and prosperity, we are working with Ganesha and Lakshmi Monday night. And so we're going to be working very serious in many ways, money magic in that ritual. So I hope you'll be able to join me Monday night at 6 p.m. Save the date. Okay, so I want you to close your eyes, roll your shoulders back. I'm going to do the very traditional opening of the circle. I have a love draw invocation that I'm going to read to you, and then I have a directional invocation. So stay tuned. Just relax and let yourself slip into listening to my voice. Just close your eyes. Let everything else go. Tonight I call to the winds of the 4 directions, and upon them I ask you, Great Spirit, to place the essence of divine love, a partnership that nourishes me, body, mind, and spirit. And keep in mind, everybody, if you already have this relationship, tonight's about nourishing and feeding it. So you don't have to worry, well, what if I'm attracting someone? It's about your intention. If your intention tonight, and get very clear about this right now while your eyes are closed, if your intention is to celebrate and nourish the relationship that you have, that should be your focus and your guiding intention for the work tonight. If your intention is to attract this kind of love in your life, then that's where your attention and intention goes. I seek this love that they call the Anamkara, the soul's mirror, the twin flame, a beloved I shall recognize from lifetimes of connection, remembering him or her across seas of longing and belonging. Draw this love to me so that I might spend all my days in the sacred embrace of the one who knows from within and without, from above and below, who I am. Let me be still and be loved by the one who sees me and the one whom I see. I summon this love, I cherish this love, and once found, I vow to honor it until my last breath. For the highest good of all, I say, so shall it be. Amen, aho, so it is. So it is. We're going to open the light of the circle first before I call in the 4 directions. So I want you to imagine that out of your left hand, you can turn your palm facing up to really receive the energy. Out of your left hand, I want you to imagine extends a beam of white light. That beam of light is about 4 to 6 inches in diameter. When we start to do this, your hand should get really warm. I want you to give it a texture so that you can really envision what this beam of light looks like sitting in your hand. And out of your left hand, that beam of light extends and leaves your left hand and enters the right hand of the person who's sitting next to you in the circle or virtually online. And it enters their right hand, moves through their energy centers out of their left hand. And so it winds its way around the circle tonight. And we have people online from all over the world. So just watching that ring of energy circulate, winding its way clockwise around the circle. When it comes back to you, it will enter your right hand. And when you feel your hands are both warm, you know you're holding the essence and energy of the circle tonight. And I want you to take a moment to let that energy really move through your right hand up to your shoulder. Let it come through and just flood your energy centers, all of your 7 chakras. And I want you to imagine sending around that circle tonight so that everybody can enjoy it. Sending around the circle tonight compassion, sending love, sending acceptance, sending appreciation, sending peace. Anything you send into a magical circle comes back to you. And so it's a blessing to be able to send these things to your brothers and sisters who are working with you tonight, knowing that it all comes back to you manyfold. And with that, our beautiful circle is open. So good. Okay. I'm going to begin my directional invocation by calling to the south. This is a Lakota invocation, so just keep your eyes closed. To the winds of the south, great serpent. This is beautiful Kundalini energy here in the south. Wrap your coils of light around us and teach us to shed the past the way you shed your skin. Teach us to walk softly on the earth. Teach us the beauty way. To the winds of the west, Mother Jaguar, protect our medicine space. Teach us the way of peace to live impeccably. Show us the way beyond death. To the winds of the north, Hummingbird, Grandmother, Grandfather, Ancient Ones. Come and warm our hands, or your hands, by our fires tonight and whisper to us in the wind. We honor you who have come before us and you who will come after us, our children's children. And to the winds of the east, Great Eagle, Condor, come to us from the place of the rising sun. Keep us under your wing. Show us the mountains we only dare to dream of. Teach us to fly and to be on the wing with Great Spirit. Mother Earth, we've gathered for the honoring of all your children, the stone people, the plant people, the four-legged, the two-legged, the creepy crawlers, the finned, the furred, and the winged ones. To all of our relations, we gather and honor you tonight. And Father, Son, Grandmother Moon, to the star nations, Great Spirit, you who are known by 1,000 names, and you who are the unnameable one, thank you for bringing us together and allowing us to sing the song of life. Amen, aho, so it is. Okay. I'm so glad you're here. The question is the full moon tonight. It is not full yet, although she's looking like it. We have it's a little awkward to talk about, but we have a full beaver moon on Monday, and CNN keeps talking about how it's going to be the biggest one we ever saw. So it's the biggest beaver full moon. I can't with it. I just can't. I really want to see Anderson Cooper talk about it a lot. I don't know why I want that, but like, tell me more about the full moon, Anderson. What kind of full moon is it? Oh, that's naughty. But we're here talking about twin flames and soulmates, so I have to keep a sense of humor about that. It's true. It is the beaver moon. It is the super moon. It is the biggest one we've seen in however many decades. So we won't see one that big again for a long time. So I'm going to stop with that. Okay. I want you to choose the stone that you're going to work with in tonight's meditation. And when choosing your stone, I want you to let the stone choose you. It was really interesting. I was buying gemstones today. I was telling the group in the room, I met this woman, and you know, teachers come to you in all forms. I've had teachers come to me in the line at Trader Joe's. So what I have learned is teachers are everywhere. And in fact, the most potent teachers of your life are not the ones you seek. They're the ones that just sort of turn up. And I had this conversation with this woman. It would take an hour to describe it to you, but all I'm going to tell you is she was instrumental in how I'm thinking about tonight's ritual, which is really powerful to me. And she said, you know, what people don't think about with crystals is that, you know, we are not the teachers, they are the teachers, and we don't give our crystals enough of a chance to talk to us. These crystals have so much wisdom. I mean, think about the entire process, how long they have existed, how many places they have traveled, where the earth was when they were formed, and the wisdom of history as those crystals formed and got translated into those stones. I really believe that the stones have messages for you. And I think as much as you think you choose them, I think they choose you. So tonight, part of our meditation is going to be about allowing you to listen to your crystal that you're being called to work with around energies of love and the deepest connection. What do you know, and here are some questions. What do you need to know about your relationship in order to take it to a deeper level? And what's really interesting is the harder we try to get our relationship to change or to get our partner to change, the more we realize it'll happen on its own. If you do your soul work and if you walk your path and if you set that example, your partner will see you rise, and it will spark a real sense of awe in you, seeing how you evolve and how you develop. You don't have to work to change people, and in fact, you can't. The best you can do is show up as a beautiful example of what it means to live authentically, and then energetically invite your partner into that space with you, but let them come on their own terms and in their own time. Okay, I'm working with my flame. I'm also feeling really, really called to orange calcite, so I'm going to work with a tumble piece. It's awkward. Orange calcite is for erectile dysfunction. That's not why I'm working with it tonight. I have no erectile dysfunction issues, but it is. It could get fun tonight. I'm just saying. I haven't had any wine tonight, so that I can be completely sober in this conversation with you. Very focused and very serious. Because this is a serious topic, but we have to play a little bit because we're talking about sex. Orange calcite is a really powerful sacral chakra stone, and I do believe that the best soulmate relationships, the best soulmate relationships that are intimate, have a deeply committed and regular sexual relationship with each other. That it's really important for you to connect with your partner on a sexual level. And so orange calcite, if you've lost that spark, and a lot of us as we get into middle age, we sort of lose it. We lose the hormones, or we just don't have time. We're busy because the kids are needing so much and demanding so much, or whatever it is for you. I really encourage you to try to connect more to your sexuality and your sensuality. If you don't have a partner, that doesn't matter. Connect with your sensuality and sexuality on your own. When you do that, it grounds you in your body, and believe it or not, energetically, it's palpable, it's noticeable. People who have a deep sensual relationship with themselves are more confident, they're more centered, they're more aligned, they're less likely to have the huge emotional ups and downs. There's a reason why you have the parts that you have, so you should work with them. I'm not going to say anything else about that right now. I'm just going to leave it at that. Okay, perfume-wise, I'm working with 1111. I'm working with Soulmates. Soulmates is my oldest blend for the love connection. And did you know that amatus, which means love in Latin, is one of my top 5 favorite perfumes of all time? Truly. Guess what? I've made about 380 perfumes. Top 5. So I'm going to pass amatus around in case you haven't smelled it or you want to experience it in the room. I wish I could pass it to you. I wish I had scratch and sniff TV, but I don't. But it's lovely. And if you're ever looking like, what new perfume should I try? Go back to amatus. There's a reason why it's been there for 5.5 years, and there's a dedicated following. Actually, and when you anoint with perfume, by the way, you invoke the element of water, which helps you get in connection with your deeper emotions. That's why it's so important. And then let's go ahead and light our candle, if you have your candle with you. When we light our candle, we invoke the element of fire. Fire is courage. Fire is passion. Fire is lust. Fire is confidence. Sounds kind of good right now. And I'm going to add a little bit of Soulmate's perfume to my candle. And you do that just by pouring it around the wick. You don't want to pour your oils on the wick because it'll put the candle out. Just a little bit on the sides. When you do that, what's fun is you take the energy of the perfume and you layer it on the energy of the candle. So you could, for example, I have my summon candle here too, because this is a really powerful candle for attracting anything you want. Very powerful, but you could actually take your Soulmate's perfume and anoint your summon candle with it to attract that partner. So if you really want to attract, you need to work with something like summon, Arvedzenite. There are very specific stones and tools for attraction, and so we can talk about that at the end if you have questions. Okay, everybody ready? I'm ready. Let's do this. Okay. I'm just making sure everything is in its right place. Okay. So once you go back to that really nice receptive position, shoulders rolled back. Exhale, let the air out of your diaphragm. Nice posture. Hands on your knees, palms facing up. And I want to set the intention tonight that not only will we raise energy for ourselves and our partnerships and each other, but I want to raise energy tonight for love to heal our planet. I think it's really important. So I'm going to be keeping something of a focus on just making sure that we raise energy to support the global community who is struggling right now. So may it be so. Okay. So I was shown in meditation a really beautiful vision of something called the Temple of Love. So that's where I'm taking you tonight. I'm very excited to take you there. So I want you to imagine that you are standing in the middle of the most beautiful desert you can imagine. And in my mind's eye, this is ancient Egypt. But if there's another desert that's more familiar to you, just let your mind take you to that image. The beautiful, vast, warm desert. The evening is warm, the air is warm. Here in the classroom where we are together, it's very warm, so it's easy to imagine. And I want you to imagine just the vastness of this desert in front of you. Notice under your feet the texture of the sand. Notice whether you're wearing shoes, maybe you're barefoot, and you can feel the texture of the sand. Maybe there's warm winds on your skin. And as you walk across this vast desert landscape, you have this sense, even though it's so barren in many ways, you have this sense that there's so much history and mystery where you are as you walk. This is a place that's familiar to you. This is a place of magic for you. This is a place where your ancestors have walked, where your guides have been with you. You may have lived many lifetimes where you are right now in this meditation. And as you continue walking off in the distance, you see a structure. It's hard to see the details of it, but you can tell that there's a large structure ahead of you on in this desert landscape. And as you begin to walk closer to it, you can see that there are lights flickering, almost like torches. And just noticing your footsteps as you walk. And as you continue to approach, you have this sense that your presence in this place that we're going is anticipated. That there are beings of light here, there are energies here that are so familiar to you, and they're summoning you, they're calling you. And in fact, you start to feel like you're picking up the pace with your footsteps as you approach this structure ahead of you, like you were excited to get there all of a sudden, as you're just being called. And as you come closer still, you start to make out the essence of this structure, and you realize that it's a beautiful temple. Huge columns as you approach. The center of the structure is open, and you can tell it's even open to the sky. There's no ceiling as you approach this temple. A huge staircase or stair steps as you approach. And you start to make your way up these steps, and you look down and notice that the entire floor is made of rose quartz. Beautiful pink floor, and as you step onto this rose quartz floor, it's cold under your feet because you've moved from the beautiful warm desert sand to this cold rose quartz tile under you. And as you step and as you move further into this beautiful temple, you look and you lift your gaze and you realize that the walls are also made of rose quartz. And even those columns, now that you're closer, were made of rose quartz. And you know, as you walk further and further into this sacred space, you know that you are in a temple of love. And that this space was created as a shrine to celebrate, to honor, to create, to manifest, to raise energy entirely and purely for love. And I want you to take a moment to really see what this feels like in your body, to be in a place free of worries, free of cares, and knowing that everything here is designed to support the experience of love for you. What does pure love feel like in your body? And just take a moment to receive. Whatever that feels like for you, just take a moment to have a somatic experience of it for yourself. And as you walk further into this temple, it's a vast space, a huge space. It's almost like you could never walk through the entirety of it. But for this moment, you are alone as you walk through. And at the end of a very long hallway, you can see that there is a lot of light. What looks like a huge fire burning at the end of the hallway. And as you approach, you realize that this fire is contained. there's a beautiful rose quartz surface, almost like a bowl. And within that bowl, in my mind's eye, what I see are 1,000 pieces, 1,000,000 pieces, little tiny pieces of quartz. And coming up from all of that, from that beautiful rose quartz bowl, and all of those pieces of clear quartz, coming up from that is a huge flame. And I want you to imagine that this flame is maybe 4 or 5 feet wide and maybe 10, 15, even 20 feet tall. And as you approach this flame, you can feel the warmth of it as you stand in front of it. I want you to lift your gaze and really see it from the bottom of that structure to the top, to the very top of that flame. And completely fix your gaze on that fire. This is the fire. This is the twin flame. This is the fire of the deepest, most unconditional, passionate, complete love that the universe can offer you as a mortal. And as you gaze into this fire, all of a sudden you sense that there is energy around you. And what's gathering around you are your spirit guides, the guides of this temple. It might even be ancestors who are gathering around you, because I do think they play a role in our relationships in this lifetime in terms of supporting those and orchestrating those. Feel as these beings begin to surround you as you gaze at this flame. And again, their entire focus is on you and love and your connection to this ancient energy. And as you focus your attention back on the flame, I'm going to ask that your guides, any spirit beings who are with you, help you to gaze into this flame and see within that flame the essence of your closest soulmate, your twin flame, the being who is to be your most intimate partner in this lifetime, the being who may have known you for many lifetimes and in whose company you will spend future lifetimes, most likely. So as you gaze into the flame, let it go from being just an orange, yellow, gold, flickering flame to a vision of this love in your mind's eye. And this vision might take you back to an early part of your relationship if you are already in the twin flame relationship with your partner. It may show you the face or an image of someone you don't know who could be coming for you in the future. It could show you in the embrace of your dearest friends in this lifetime who are meant to be powerful soulmates for you. As you gaze, just notice what you see. Let go of any expectations and just notice where your mind's eye, where your spirit guides are taking you in this vision of this flame tonight. And guides, I ask that you show each person in this circle tonight a clear image of what, from your perspective, the soulmate connection means for them. If they're celebrating and honoring and nourishing and growing their love relationship with their partner, show them an image that will feed their relationship. Maybe it's from the past to remind you of what that love was like when it first started. Maybe it's from the future to show you a beautiful time that you're going to share with this person in the future. And guides, if the person in the circle is seeking to attract this love into their life, show them an image, maybe of the person that's coming for them, maybe of a place where they're meant to go to find this person. Maybe show them an image of a mantra that they're to repeat or a tool that they're to use. Give them insight tonight, guides, into what needs to happen, where they need to go, what they need to do to attract this twin flame, this soulmate partnership into their lives. And fill their hearts with a sense of the joy that comes from knowing that this connection is awaiting them. So I truly believe this connection can come at any time, at any age, at any place. As soon as your energy is in alignment with that connection, it will manifest for you. I have no doubt. And I want you to visualize, as you're looking into this flame and receiving these images, I want you to visualize your sacral chakra. I want you to visualize your lower chakras and feel the energy swirling there. These are your chakras of intimacy. Your root chakra is your chakra of safety and connection to the earth. Your place of understanding that you are deeply safe and loved and held. Your sacral chakra is your place of creativity and procreativity. It's the way through which you create life, and not just human life, but also the life of projects and friendships and anything that you create in the world that didn't exist before you were born. It begins right there. So I want you to feel this energy in your body, this flame energy, and let it rise from those lower chakras up through your solar plexus, which is your power center. This is where you manifest from. It's right at the center of your navel, right there. And let that energy rise up to your heart, because that's where you're going to expand to allow this connection to happen. And that's where you're going to expand in order to feel a deeper connection to your partner. It's right in that heart space. And then let that energy swirl up to your throat. And guides, open our throat chakras so that we know how to speak our needs in our relationships and speak our truth to each other. And letting that energy rise to your third eye and completely activating your intuition tonight, so that you will recognize that partner in your life, or so that you're in your current partnership, your intuition will deepen your connection to each other. And then letting that energy rise to the crown chakra, because I truly believe that when we are in soulmate relationships, we honor the divine in each other in such a profound way. When you look into the eyes of your soulmate, what you're really seeing is the essence of God, the essence of your creator, however you think of that energy. And so letting the energy just swirl to connect to your crown chakra as well. And then let that energy bathe you. Let it shoot from that crown chakra down and just over your body, over your shoulders, over your arms, over your hands. Let your arms just sort of lay limp to the side, and then open your hands to just let that energy flood through your hands. Feel it in your fingertips. And now I want you to reach your hands in front of you, and I want you to imagine sending all of that energy that you just raised out of your hands and into the energy field of your soulmate. And this is a very powerful moment. If your soulmate is with you, you can touch if that feels good. You can put your hands on each other's hands and seal that connection. If you are looking for that partnership and that connection, I want you to imagine that there are receiving hands on the other side of this energy tonight. What you seek is seeking you too. Do you feel it in your hands? And really visualize that energy pouring out of your hands, pouring into that soulmate with you, or the one that you are seeking. And let this be a moment of pure connection, just on the level of energy and love, nothing else. No fear, no anxiety, no sadness, just love, appreciation, passion. Take a nice deep breath right there. That's very sweet. In my mind's eye, I can see people touching each other's cheeks and shoulders. You know, let this be a moment where you really connect and really crystallize the vision of who's receiving this energy from you. Let your guides show you. Let your partner be present to you right now. And then from this place, I want you to take your crystal in your hands. If you're working with your flame, I want you to put the flat side against you. You can put it against you at your heart or at your solar plexus. And you're going to hold your flame like this between your hands with the point facing away from you and the flat side towards you. If you're working with a tumbled stone or a natural stone or a quartz point, just keep one end of it next to you, touching you, and one end of it pointing away from you within your hands. And keep your hands around it, both hands around it. And so, on our collective behalf, I would like to ask our guides tonight to activate this crystal, to release its potential, to release its wisdom to you, to release its power to teach you and heal you and nourish you and support you. Guides, I ask that you activate the crystal that each person in this circle, virtual and in person, is holding right this minute. Activate it to release and empower us with the information that we're ready to hold and receive and work with at this time, meeting us where we are at our current level of development. Activate this crystal to release wisdom that will bring us peace, that will honor and deepen our love relationships, that will help us to be in deeper service to each other. I believe that's really what relationships are, is finding a way to be of service to each other. And for those of you who are searching for this connection, activate this crystal to show them the way, almost like a map, hidden treasure. Point them in the direction where this connection lies for them. And you can ask whatever you would like quietly to yourself. You can ask your guides to activate the wisdom of this crystal for different things in your life, for manifestation, for creativity, because all of this is related to the soulmate. These are the things that the soulmate relationship brings to us: creativity, passion, happiness, joy. Whatever you want to activate your crystal for, now is the time. And you can activate multiple crystals. So if you'd like to activate a crystal and also a necklace that you're wearing, you can activate that as well. We thank you guides for activating these tools tonight so they can be of good service to us as we celebrate, honor, and summon the twin flame on this sacred day, 11/11, when we know that all of the angels surround us to guide us and to bring us deeper into love. And we thank you for the wisdom that's coming. And keep in mind, you can place your crystal down if you'd like. Keep in mind, activated crystals will communicate with you for decades. You're only ready to receive what is available to you right now, what you can handle. So it's likely that you'll be receiving messages from this crystal for the duration of your life, unless you choose to deactivate the crystal. And we can talk about that later if you choose to not work with this crystal for this purpose. But I would recommend keeping this crystal ready to work with you and for you on the soulmate relationship, because this is a relationship that you're going to be focusing on for the rest of your life. And what's beautiful is, in my mind's eye right now, what I see is not only us activating crystals for our soulmate relationships, but I feel like there's a generational energy too. Like, as we open the doors to love and really begin to show each other how to work with love, I think we're teaching the next generation how to do that as well. So I feel that generational call tonight. Like, your children will watch you, your nieces and nephews will watch you as you develop strong love relationships in your life. You will be a good teacher, and these crystals will be good allies to you. Now, fire is the element of courage. It is the element that gives you the stamina that you need, the passion that you need to move in your life powerfully and also to engage in powerful relationships. If you seek anything from the flame, take a moment just quietly to ask for what you need from this twin flame that we're standing in front of tonight in this temple of love. Do you need courage? Do you need support? Do you need faith? Do you need patience? Do you need trust? Do you need laughter? Do you need joy? Do you need comfort? Do you need physical touch? Do you need intimacy? And don't be afraid to ask for what you need from this flame, because whatever you receive, your partner is also going to receive and enjoy as well. And take this moment too, this last moment in this place, to surrender any fear you have. You are here on this planet to love. Really, there is no other purpose. So surrender all fears tonight. Your fears can stand in the way of a lot. So if you're not afraid, what can you create? If you're full of love and absent fear, nothing is impossible. My heart is really full for all of you. I'm so glad you're here. And now as you're gazing at this flame, I want you to take a moment to give thanks to your guides for coming and being available to you this evening for this work. I always give thanks. It's important to give that gesture. It can just be a simple bow or the word thank you, whatever feels right to you. I give thanks not just to you for being in the circle, but for your soulmate, your beloved too. And when you're ready, you can begin the path of leaving this space. Always know the Temple of Love exists in another realm. This is a place you can come back to anytime. That's why our meditations are always recorded, so you can always come back and just do this again whenever you need to. It could become a ritual for you and your partner too, maybe once a month or once every 6 months to bring yourselves back. It's really good to do magical work in cycles of every 6 months, because that's when there's polarity in the field. And that's how you know when to anchor this. So you could do this now in November, and then again in May would be a really potent time to do this ritual again with your partner. And with that, you'll just begin to turn away from the flame and take your steps out of the Temple of Love, starting to bring your attention to the rose quartz floor that you're walking on, feeling the warmth of the flame behind you as you depart the temple. Bringing your awareness to your body more and more, feeling your footsteps. And as you leave the temple and exit down the stairway, start to feel the desert floor under your feet. Just gently begin to turn your head from side to side. Bring your awareness into the room where we are, where you are. Be very gentle with yourself as you come back, just wiggling fingers and toes, turning your head from side to side. And only when you are very, very, very ready, you can open your eyes. There's some very active crystals we have worked with tonight. And I want to encourage you to begin to think about activation as an important process for you with your crystals. I don't know, how many of you would say that once you get a crystal, you consciously activate it, give it permission to speak to you and give you the wisdom? A lot of us don't. So part of what I always try to do in these rituals is teach you, give you a new technique, a new tool in your tool belt, your toolkit. And I think tonight's tool is activation, recognizing that the crystals are teachers. That's why they're here. Not just Lemurian quartz, but all crystals have embedded wisdom in them. And so when you consciously choose to activate them, you give them permission. And I think it's an important step in the process. Are you excited? You're going to run home and get all your crystals and start activating them all like, I activate you. I activate you. You are activated. Your partner might look at you like they don't know what's happening, but that's fine. I'm activating my crystals. What? The Temple of Love. One of my favorite musical groups of all time is Rasa. If you haven't heard Rasa, then your homework tonight is to go onto Pandora and listen, or go to YouTube and just search Rasa. You're going to find all of their music. And my favorite album by Rasa is Temple of Love. So that would be my musical gift to you tonight if you want to go and listen. There's a song on that album called Parama Karuna, which is a very powerful song. My sabbatical sisters know about it. If you activate your crystals with that song, I'm not going to say much. Just do it. Very interesting question. Someone said, what if you went and looked in the flame and it wasn't your husband? Well. The plot thickens. You know, soul contracts are very complex, and I don't understand them. I know that they exist. I think we agree to have certain experiences in this lifetime, and then the instant we're born, we do not know. It's like, and then I think we get into this life, and it's like, what did I signed up for this? And I have a lot of theories about things like suicides and things like that, because I think a lot of people come into this life and just can't bear the burden of the contract. Does that make sense? And again, this is my way of making sense of the world. I don't know exactly what happens in a lot of these cases, but I will say this. I think love contracts are very complicated. I think many love contracts are forever. I really do. I don't think a lot of us have relationships that are superficial. I do think sometimes couples run the extent of their contract before they die. And so I think then it becomes a choice. I do think we have free will and free choice to be able to decide, okay, is our contract over? Do we want to keep going? So that's where I think free will sort of meets up with the soul contract. Does that make sense? And I have people come to me all the time and say, I know my contract is over. What do I do? Because she doesn't think it's over, kind of thing. And it's like, well, that's a mutual decision that you and your partner have to come to. But I will say this, the best thing you can do, truly, is listen. The universe will give you signs. You and your partner are spiritual beings. And so I think many of us are meant to be and inhabit those relationships forever, and some are not. And I think you have an inherent intuitive wisdom, in fact, a brilliance, a near scientific brilliance about what you need in your life if you'll just listen and pay attention. Does that make sense? Just listen. It'll become clear to you. Now, sometimes the universe puts people in your path, you know, and I think it's partly to either strengthen your relationship or to shift you out of it. And the only person who really knows what that's about is you. Yeah, does that make sense? So listen. I always say my job really, I'm a professional listener. I'm a professional listener to the rocks, professional listener to the planet, professional listener to people. I just listen. And when I go off course, it's because I didn't listen. Have you noticed that? Does that happen to you? You're like, I didn't listen. And most people will admit it, like, yep, didn't listen. So if you get better at listening, your entire life will begin to make more sense to you, I think. Melissa asks, what do you do, Athena, when you buy a new crystal to activate them or ask for their wisdom? I think it's as simple, honestly, Melissa, as what we just did. I think it's nice to do it in a ritual way, light a candle, open a circle, but you need to just give your crystals permission. I think that's the best thing. All right, so let's open our circle and release the directions. It's a very important step in the process. Hands on your knees, palms up. The energy of this beautiful container came to you in your right hand, so you're going to release it from your right hand. And as you do, it's going to unwind its way counterclockwise around the circle until it comes back to you in your left hand. And feeling the right hand go sort of cold. Now you're holding the energy of the circle in the left hand. Just turn your hand upside down. Send that energy down into the center of the earth. You don't want to hold that energy in your body. And so grounding that energy into Mother Gaia. As we send this energy tonight, Gaia, we ask for your support. We offer this to you for the greater good of our planet. Please send this collective energy. Remember, from physics, energy is never created, it's never destroyed, it only changes form. So please send this energy that we've raised tonight wherever it needs to go, to the people who need it most, to the places where there is hurt, where there is sadness, where there is a loss and a lack of hope, especially to those who feel like this is not a connection they'll ever experience. Remind them that, in fact, they're here to love and open their hearts to receive. So it is. And to the guardians and gatekeepers of the sacred directions, guardians of the north, we release you. We thank you for your wisdom in the circle tonight. Voices of the ancestors, we listen. We release you from your service to the circle. Guardians, gatekeepers of the west, we thank you for helping us connect to deep emotion tonight, the peace that that brings. We release you from your service to the circle. Guardians, gatekeepers of the south, element of fire, we thank you for the courage to do this work. We thank you for the passion. We thank you for the connection, the bravery it takes to be in love. We release you from the service to the circle. Guardians, gatekeepers of the east, we thank you for the many new beginnings Even those in our long-term relationships, there's always a place to begin again in love. And thank you for the new relationships that are coming into our lives to bring fullness, to bring peace, to bring joy. So grateful. We release you from your service to the circle. And with that, our circle is open. I'm going to blow out my candle. It's so pretty. There's glitter in it. I love me a good Sage Goddess candle. I do. Watch your smoke. It tells you things. When your smoke goes to the west, you need to get in touch with those deeper feelings and not be afraid. When it goes to the east, something new is coming to you. When it goes to the north, you need more wisdom. You need more information. When it goes to the south, you need to take action. So always be mindful of the direction of your smoke. Everything's a teacher. Everything's a teacher. It's sensory overload sometimes, but it's also really magical and awesome. You learn to live your life this way and see everything as magic. I'm so glad that you were here with me tonight, everybody in the room. How are you guys doing? How are you feeling? Yeah? There's like a gentle, loving, comforted, sexy vibe in the room, which is really fun. I really encourage you. I encourage you to cultivate more passion in your life. Find a way. And part of that is the most passionate people in the world. Do you know what distinguishes them from everybody else? They are completely authentic. If you are acting a certain way or doing things because you think other people want you to, or that's not the path to passion. The path to passion is, hey, this is me and I'm going to rock this and this is who I am. And when you fully show up to your life in an authentic way, it opens the door for everything we've talked about tonight. And you are beautiful and loved just as you are. You don't have to change a thing for anybody. Remember that. And like I said, you'll model that for all the generations to come after you. That's a gift that you can give without doing anything really except just being yourself. So I hope you'll honor that for yourself tonight. Okay. A couple things to tell you, and then I'm going to sign off from our online audience. Oh, actually, I wanted to do the charging live. Can you stay with me for a minute? Normally I do this when I go off camera, but let's do it together. There is a huge bowl of the most gorgeous fire quartz. It's sold out, so I'm sorry. If you didn't get one, you wanted one, I'm sorry. But I am charging it tonight. So it is sitting in the middle of the room where all the people are here live. But I would like you to send your energy to those pieces as well, too. So everything in this room that we have created tonight, everything that we've created online, I want you to take just a moment and imagine. I don't have the bowl to show you, but imagine it in your mind's eye. This beautiful bowl of quartz. And I want you to radiate that energy. Close your eyes. And imagine sending it to these pieces. Because by doing that, you're going to be sending it to all the people who receive these. That's how we charge stones. And what I like to do is imagine. If you want to charge your own stones, this is a great technique, by the way. You ready? I'm going to teach you this right now. Use your projecting hand, whatever hand you consider that to be. That's the energy, the hand that you send energy with. And I want you to imagine a loop of energy from the center of your palm out around whatever you're trying to charge that comes back to the center of your palm. Can you do that? And you can do this with me for our stones here. You can do it on your altar for your own stones. This is how you charge. Imagine that loop and make sure it's a continuous and closed circle. And then send whatever intention you want to charge your tool or your crystal or whatever, send that intention directly into the stone from the center of your hand. Your hand should feel really hot right now. Do you feel it? Okay. If you don't feel hot, focus, because you'll know the loop is closed when your hand is hot. So I'm sending intentions for passion, connection, love, joy, laughter, just the full experience. I'm sending intentions of authenticity that you will feel so comfortable living your full authentic self in your life, because I think that's such a part of what we're talking about tonight. And then when you're done, when you feel like you've made the connection and you set the intention, then you can just close your hand, release your hand, put your hand down. That is how you charge a tool. If you ever decide you don't want to use that tool for that purpose, all you do is imagine the same thing, but pull the loop of energy back. So you sent it out sort of clockwise, unwind it back around the tool, and say, I release you from this purpose. And then the tool is what we call deconsecrated. Is that helpful? Mm-hmm. But you can charge anything. I mean, you can charge your water. Do this tomorrow. Make yourself, pour some water, charge it up for health, make yourself some tea. See if it doesn't taste better. It really works. All right, Monday night, where are you going to be? With me. With me for a fabulous full moon ritual honoring Lakshmi and Ganesha. We're going to talk about Saraswati as well, because they are the holy trinity in the Hindu tradition. We talk about trinities all the time. Every religion has a trinity. This is the Hindu tradition's trinity. Lakshmi brings wealth, Ganesha brings success, Saraswati brings wisdom. And other than that, all you need is healing, which we're going to work with Kuan Yin and Buddha in December. And that will take 2016 to the finish line. Right now online, we have a buy one, get one sale on 11 stones to celebrate 11/11. If you didn't see this, it's a really cool chance. If you order a stone, you're going to get two. And they're in the shop too downstairs. So it's a fun way to get two for the price of one, but it's only happening for this weekend and only on those 11 stones. But there's juicy ones in that 11. Those are good stones. So you'll want to use that opportunity to, and you might consider getting one for yourself and one for somebody you know who would like to learn about crystals, or maybe share with your kids, or save them for holiday stocking stuffer gifts is a really good idea too. And then I think that's it for our online announcements. I'm so glad you were here. Go have some fun with your partner, or light your candle again and focus your energy and your will. I do believe that everyone on this planet has a soulmate, a primary soulmate. And if yours hasn't come to you yet, he or she is coming. Don't lose faith. I believe. I believe enough for both of us. And I will see you Monday. I look forward to it. Enjoy your weekend, everybody. Be well. I'll see you soon. Good night.